Hey everybody, Dave here. Just wanted to show you a little something that I just came up with out of boredom and show you what you can do with an old wood bookshelf if you need to organize things, if you've got a lot of flashlights, if too many knives, whatever you got, but particularly flashlights that need charging. I got a little bit bored, and for way less than $100 and a quick trip to Home Depot, I built myself a flashlight organization and charging shelf for flashlights and associated accoutrements. Let me tell you real quick what I did. Listen, you can run to Walgreens or CVS or Walmart or any of those stores that have a as seen on TV aisle with all the useless crap, and you can probably find one of these. This is a little light switch that you can just drill a little pilot hole right into some wood and screw that thing right in there, and it'll stick real nice and solid, and it'll give you light to work with. Then head over to Home Depot or your hardware store of choice. Buy yourself some pegboard. And it's real cheap. Take measurements of your bookshelf, both width and height, before you go over there, so that you know exactly what size pegboards you want. And if you want them to saw it for you, they will. But you know, if you got a saw at home and a tape measure, you can do it yourself. When you measure, you must bear in mind that you cannot screw pegboard right into the back of your bookshelf or the sides of the bookshelf, because you have to leave a gap behind it for the pegboard attachments to get behind it and get into place, okay? So what I did is I picked up some extra thick nuts, and after I drilled the holes, I lined the screws through the pegboard, and then I put 2 nuts on the screws before I put them into the bookshelf itself. And what those nuts did is it bought me, you know, about that much space between the pegboard and the bookshelf itself. And that left plenty of room for the pegboard attachments to get behind there and get into place. Also, when measuring, bear in mind as you do your sides that your rear panel is going to stick out about that much and your side panel is going to stick out about that much. So don't just measure without bearing in mind that gap you're going to need to leave for yourself. And then you'll find a multitude of screws and nuts, of bolts and nuts that will fit through the pegboard holes. I think I used these for one of the shelves, and I used these for another one of the shelves. So 1.5 inches to 2 inches is plenty much space. You drill yourself some pilot holes, and then on the outside of your bookshelf, you'll have the outside of your bolts and your nuts. And if you want, you could trim those off. But if it's not a big deal to you, you can just leave it. And then a huge variety of pegboard attachments also exist at your hardware store of choice. And buy what you need for what you have. You'll get it all laid out. And then if you're working with knives or weapons or things like that, you're basically done. But if you're working with flashlights and electronics, then you're going to want your chargers as well. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a much larger pilot bit and you're going to drill out a large, I mean, not too large, but a large enough gap behind, just barely behind your pegboard on the side of it, so that you can run your wires through. You'll run them around the side of your bookshelf to a power strip, so that one flip of the power switch and all of your chargers come on. Okay, so Olight chargers, Nitecore chargers, Streamlight chargers, whatever you got, everything can run at once, and you can charge whatever you want. when you add in that little light switch from wherever you find it, you're talking way under $100 here, you know, for the materials needed. Some bolts and nuts, and some extra thick, larger nuts to buy yourself the gap behind the pegboard. The pegboard itself, a light switch, and if you need a power strip, that's fine. You get one of those too, but some of us just have those laying around. So just a little fun project that you can whip out pretty quickly on a bored day. And, you know, some of them don't need chargers. Some of them use batteries. So you can get pegboard attachments just to hold the batteries. And give yourself a fun little project to do. And meanwhile, you can organize all of your toys. Have fun. Let me know how you did.